Hey everybody, this is Rustin Rose with Metalholic Magazine, Mojo Radio, and The Examiner. With me today, Jeff Rains of course, Rains. How are you doing, man?
Very good. How are you?
Absolutely wonderful. Glad you had time to take a few minutes out and talk with us. You guys were...
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. You guys were originally slated to end the tour tonight, the Share the Well tour with Five Finger in Indianapolis, right close to home there, but I think it's been extended now, right?
Actually, it was kind of flip-flopped. We were originally supposed to start November 8th. I'm not sure where the show is, and finish the tour with them. And then Red Theory dropped off the beginning part of the tour. So we got an email about midnight one night asking if we could join a month early. So we obviously said yes, and now here we are.
Oh, nice. So well, that's actually kind of cool for you guys then, because you weren't originally slated to play the show close to home, because you guys are based out of Fort Wayne, right?
Yeah, and I was really bummed out, because initially I thought we were going to get put on the first part of the tour, and then I found out that we were actually going on the second part of the tour. So as soon as we found out about this, we were real stoked.
Now, your guys' music is a little more, I don't know, modern, alt, hard rock than metal. How did you guys end up on a tour with three of metal's heavyweights, and how have the audience has been responding so far?
We got offered a bunch of different tours. This was one of them. I did as much research as I could, and every single person, because that was one of my fears too, is are we heavy enough for this tour? Every single person I talked to in the industry said this is the tour to be on, so if you got it offered, you have to take it. So we took it. We are playing a little heavier live, and it's gone over amazingly well. I mean, it's a pretty scary gig to have to open for Hatebreed, they're yeah, you get the idea, but it's gone over well.
Nice.
Every night there are, two random hecklers that scream Hatebreed at us, but yeah, it is what it is.
And everybody's been treating you well. I know the guys in Five Finger and Jamie and those guys from Hatebreed are all great guys, so.
Yeah, and we're very humbled and floored at how nice they are being to us, between the crew, between the bands. I mean, it's just amazing to me.
Excellent. The rest of us who aren't as familiar with Rains, give us a little bit of a backstory on the band.
I started the band, I think, 12 years ago, and had no clue what I was doing. I recorded a CD that sold way more copies than I wish it would have now. I'd rather have every single copy back, because it was a terrible album. But whatever, I'll get over it at some point. And I would hire different musicians for every show, to play live with me, because it's just me. So about 4 years ago, I finally got a full, solid band, and I don't know, Sirius Octane started supporting us a lot with our first single, and now we're doing our new single, Look in My Eyes, pushing that. So we have a whole new team of people working for us. So it's kind of stressful sometimes, because we're independent and self-managed and all that good stuff, but it's really the only way to do it these days.
Well, tell us who else is in the band, because I know you've had basically the same guitar player and bassist for a while, but there's been a little bit of a rotation with the drummer.
Actually, so the guitar player is Jason Anderson. Right, I think a week before the tour started, our drummer and bass player, one quit, one had to be let go. It wasn't on bad terms or anything. It's just he was in another band and had some other obligations.
Gotcha.
So I had to replace two people a week before the tour that was originally supposed to start November 8th. They got pushed up a month. I mean, it was probably the most stressful week of my life. But, yeah, so the current bass player is Matt Hopkins, and our current drummer is Andy Ryan.
So now you've had, you released the debut album Stories in 2009, and I know for a lot of people this is all fresh. You just released the new single, but coming up on 2012 now, are you looking at recording the follow-up to that sometime next year? Or?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the Stories never really got the push we wanted it to get. We didn't have the resources at the time to make it happen. So, to everybody else that's hearing it on the radio now, it's brand new to them. You know, they have no idea when they think it was just released. We, on the other hand, have been playing the same set for frickin' 3 years straight, you know. So I personally can't wait to get into the studio, and I think I have about 2 records written already. So
now, you've had some amazing experiences, obviously, both good and bad. It sounds like stressful anyway. Then going out on this tour since the debut came out. How do you feel you've grown as a songwriter since Stories came out?
I think a lot. I mean, I'm really excited for the new record to come out, just so people can hear it. You know, I've spent the past few years trying to learn, I don't know, more how to write songs, because I came into this thing pretty blind, and I just threw out a record and people happen to like it. I don't know, I think I've grown a lot as a songwriter over the past couple of years, so hopefully it comes through. Hopefully it comes through on the next record.
Now that you've been on this heavy as hell tour, you feel your writing's going to be a little heavier edged?
I am kind of scared of that. I think it will, and I'm nervous about it. But yeah, we're going to be the new Hatebreed after this tour.
So
and then we'll probably get stuck on a Justin Bieber tour or something like that.
There you go. So as a singer-songwriter, who inspired you growing up? I mean, was there an album or an artist that was sort of like life-changing for you, or?
It started, I mean, my dad would, like when I started playing music, my dad would give me a list of songs, like 70s rock songs to learn every week. And so I was really big into that. And then I found the first CD I ever bought was Van Halen Live. So then I started getting into that scene, and I always listened to country music. But then one day I heard of this band called Alice in Chains, and it pretty much blew my mind. And that whole Seattle grunge scene, I mean, that's pretty much what I base everything off of, even today, you know.
But you got a little bit of everything in there, classic rock, some country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So and that's the thing that it's hard these days when you go back and listen to that stuff from like the 70s. Those were the songs that really resonate and have stood the test of time, where a lot of the stuff coming out now doesn't. And it's nice when you have singer-songwriters like yourself who can actually write tunes that will endure and not be like, oh, I think I remember them. They were out a few years ago and now they're gone. So
right. Well, yeah, and I try my best to stay away from, I hate that cookie-cutter rock crap where it's all about doing drugs and banging chicks and whatever, I try to be as real as possible and just tell stories. That's why the record's called Stories. Right. So maybe the next record will be called Stories 2 or something. I don't know.
Well, speaking of which, nice segue there. Tell us a little bit about where you draw on for your lyrical content, because yours is a little deeper than most.
Yeah, I mean, it's my life experiences. I mean, it's all things I've gone through. So I figured that'd be the best way to connect with people. And, I mean, it's a little scary sometimes to put yourself out there like that, but I think it's paying off. I actually read a really cool article about us the other day that said we're the band that's saving rock music. And I was like, wow, that's a pretty high compliment.
Absolutely. So what are you passionate about outside of music?
Pretty much just my family. I have a wife and a daughter, and when I'm home, I focus on that. And when I'm on the road, I focus on the band. This tour, I've been lucky enough to have my family out with me, so it's been really cool. That's
got to be really cool. It's got to be an experience for them as well.
Yeah, my daughter's 4, and she's freaking out. She walks on stage every night to take her waters up for us, and the crowd screams for her, and it's pretty cool. We got her little pink shotgun earmuffs thing, so it's not too loud for her.
That's got to be adorable. No matter what happens, those will be the memories you keep forever.
Honestly, I think that helped us. Every night she's done it, the Hatebreed fans have been nice to us, so I think that kind of breaks the ice a little bit. And then we started using Lynn and Levy Breaks as our intro song, and I think that kind of brings the crowd down a little bit too. So we're getting it figured out.
Yeah, that's sort of the thing too. Is like people need to get away from the genres and just get into whether or not the music's good. Stop trying to label everything. Everybody loves Led Zeppelin, whether they're into pop rock or the heaviest of metal. So.
Yep, exactly.
But So, I mean, when I ask about what you're passionate about outside of music, obviously family's going to come first and foremost, but I mean, do you have some hobbies, things that you're into that people might not, might be surprised?
I was a tattoo artist for 7 years, but now I kind of hate tattoos for some reason. I don't know. I got pretty jaded doing that, just seeing all the stupid crap people put on them. So I quit. I quit doing, focused on the music thing, and that seems to be working out better.
What do you do when somebody comes in and they're like, here, I want you to put this on my body, and you're like, really? You're going to want that there for the rest of your life?
You give them a really high quote, and if they're stupid enough to take the quote, then you do the tattoo. And I mean, if I was tattooing somebody's ass or something, then you triple the quote, and they pay it.
Totally random questions just for fun then before we let you get out of here. This last week was Halloween. Do you believe in ghosts?
I do. And I've had many personal experiences, so I do completely.
Anything you're willing to share?
It might be too long of a story. One house when I grew up had a ghost, and we actually saw him, and it was kind of creepy, but whatever. The other, we were playing Mill, I think, the other night, and as soon as we pull in, the whole crew comes out, and they're like, this is the most haunted place you will ever be in your entire life. So as soon as your set's done, get off stage and go back to the bus. He said, otherwise you will have some messed up stuff happening to you. And that had me so freaked out, I did exactly what they said to do. I mean, the whole venue, the room we played was the most beautiful room I've ever seen in my life, but the rest of the venue was like some Dark Ages castle thing. It was creepy enough as is. And then there was some swimming pool in the bottom of the venue where they said 10 people had died in there. And I mean, I stayed out of there.
And which venue was this one?
The Raves? Yeah, the Raves. Milwaukee.
Oh, Milwaukee, gotcha. Oh, yeah, that was just the other night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you guys just rolled through here. I'm based in Boise. You guys just rolled through Boise not too long ago, too. So.
Yeah.
So, last question then before we get out of here. Let's see, something totally random. If you could go back in time to any point in your life and tell yourself something, give yourself some advice, what would it be?
Jeez. Don't drink Jaeger, because now I like it way too much. Should have never had that first shot.
And don't put out the first album, right?
Yeah. Don't put out the first album. Yeah, definitely.
So for all the fans out there listening, old and new, anything you'd like to say to them before we get out of here?
Old fans, thank you for their continued support. New fans, I hope you enjoy the ride, and we thank you for coming on board.
The debut album, Stories, just a kick-ass album out there. You can hear it on the radio, but of course we want you to go pick it up, iTunes, Amazon, anywhere else important they should be looking for it at.
I think it's in all the Best Buys and everything, everywhere online. I mean, you can pretty much find it everywhere.
Nice. And then, of course, the official site for the band, rainsmusic.com. Jeff, thanks so much for taking time out. Have a great show tonight there at home. And we look forward to talking with you again soon.
All right. Thanks so much, brother.
What did you want me to be when I see you fall?